Big girls don't cry. Be a man. Chest that feeling. We hear all these things and we just think like, well, just another saying. No, it is causing havoc. And today I'm going to talk about how our emotions, unprocessed emotions, are actually hindrance to your next level. Let me explain. I had a client, she has been working with me. This is like our fifth session. However, I clocked something she always say and her demeanor when she says it. So when she talks about something she went through in the past, I always see that her shoulder drops, she kind of cocks her head some sideways, and she speaks in a lower tone. And I kept on noting that feelings because I take notes during coaching sessions. And I told her, why do you do that? And she was like, oh, I don't even know I do that. I was like, well, I noticed it and I want to call it out to you. And also, not only that, some of her language, when it comes to what happened to her in the past, she always tries to look at it from another person's lens. What will they think? How will they view me? Even though this is not what I currently live, even though I have been able to let go of that lifestyle and things like that, how are people going to view me? And it occurred to me that that's her block. Her block is the fact that she went through something, she never truly processed the feelings, and it is stuck in her body. Today, we're going to discuss this because we talk about identity shifting, but truly, no one talks about, or I wouldn't say no one talks about it, but hardly do you hear in identity shifting where they tell you to go back and process old emotions because it will keep you stuck. It will keep you repeating same cycles. And I actually noted that in my life. I went through something. I used to have a friend. We were close, and something happened. Although we talked about it and we addressed it, I never fully processed the emotions from that. I then became defensive in our relationship because whatever happened made me feel inadequate. So instead of processing the emotions and truly letting it go, not just letting it go because we've talked about it, but truly going through understanding how that made me feel and making the decision to let it go or truly to let the friendship go is an option too. Because if I am going to be defensive in a relationship that is not meant to be that way, then I am not bringing my truest self to that relationship, to that friendship. So I noticed that I couldn't really be myself in that relationship. I always felt like, hmm, trying to understand the hierarchy in the relationship because that was the issue. I felt that, she mentioned something and said something, and it felt like, oh, there is a hierarchy in this relationship. And truly, if you're going to be friends with somebody and you already start that friendship with a hierarchy, then it's not fair. We are not going to truly come as ourselves because you're not going to um, meet me where I am, and I will always keep chasing you because in your head you feel you're the better one, you're the better friend, or something like that. Anyways, enough of that situation. I was trying to use it to buttress a point. So, because I didn't process that, although we talked about it, but the emotions behind that, I didn't process it, it kept on coming up in situations where I was defensive, trying to defend my, should I say friendship, my value in that friendship. But I had to speak to myself like, this is not healthy. This is not what I want in a friendship. And I had to make my exit. Yes, it was painful, but it was necessary. However, I wanted to process how I felt leaving that relationship, but I never truly went back to what even happened for that relationship to break down. I just stayed in the, oh, I know we're not going to be friends. It's painful, but it's meant to happen. I sat in the feeling, cried, processed, truly processed the ending. And I bring this up because it's kept on coming up with new friendships I wanted to make. And until I did the work in processing what happened in that my past or ex friendship, I couldn't really come as my full self, as a full friend to anybody I was meeting. So, what I tell you that is, I had to do the work for me to meet people that on my path, on my trajectory, I had to do the work. I had to sit in the feelings. Same thing with this, my client. If she knows that this person that she's embodying, this person that she's becoming, she truly wants to embody it in fullness, she needs to go and process what happened to her. And I've let her know that, and she welcomed the idea as I explained everything to her, because that's going to continuously be a hindrance if you're holding on to the feelings from that experience. For her, it was guilt and shame. For me, in my past situation, it was inadequacy. So processing your feelings through things that you go through is very helpful because it gives you a map of what are you truly feeling? How does it make you feel? Not chesting it, not trying to be a man, not, oh, moving on to the next one. Oh, I can get another girl in a second. I can get another guy in a second. No, it's truly, how does this make me feel? What emotions are coming up for me, and how do I truly process it? And truly processing an emotion is not all about journaling, saying affirmation. Sometimes it's sitting in it. Majority of times it's sitting in that feeling and feeling it deeply, understanding it. If it makes you cry, it's okay. If it makes you mad, it's okay. Shout in a pillow, scream, do whatever you want to do, but let it out. Emotions are energy in motion. It needs to be expressed. If you hold it, it will come out as something else. So, a lot of us are identity shifting while moving to our next level. That is all great. That is all dandy. But if you have emotions that have not been processed, then you have to go do it. If you're sitting in any guilt, any shame, any unworthiness, any inadequacy from experiences from your past, I will advise you to go truly sit in those feelings. And not just sit in the feelings, just, oh, I'm going to sit in my feelings. No. How are you truly feeling? For me, when I get defensive, my jaw is tight. You know, when I'm anxious, my heart starts fluttering. So these are the things you notice when you sit with yourself and understand what you're going through. Not just chest it, not just drink through it, not just party through it. We can all do that, but does it really help you? Honestly, I know nobody wants to keep feeling the emotion, especially emotions that make us down, but we have to. Because once you process it and you have a mind map for it, you set yourself for awareness. You're now self aware. You're now self aware that when this emotion comes up, this is what happens to you. And then you can course correct immediately. So the time wherein you sit in your feelings and process, becomes shorter in a way, because now you have a mind map of what is actually happening to you as it is happening to you. Maybe sometimes you might need more time to process, which is fine. But once you start having a mind map of what you're going through, that is a mind map of self awareness. So when people actually project on you, and the feeling of defensiveness, the feeling of guilt, the feeling of shame, whatever feeling, you note it in your body. And you know, I wasn't feeling this way, but whatever this person is saying or doing or acting towards me is making me feel this way. And you can course correct. You can course correct by knowing that is not actually something I should take on, and maybe walk away, maybe address it, whatever you need to do. But it helps open you up for self awareness. Because this next version of you, there's some things that cannot go. Some patterns that you keep replaying, it cannot go. You need to drop it. If you're holding on to shame, how can you embody the next version of yourself? Because somewhere you're feeling unworthy and you're not giving yourself the permission to fully embody that next version of you. But if you say to yourself, well, I have processed this emotion. I know this is coming up. I know this next version of myself, somewhere this unworthiness keeps cropping up. You know how to address it. You know what is causing it. And you can tell yourself, I give you permission to still embody, because that is not our story anymore. Because sometimes feelings will crop back up. But if you've processed it, there is a way for you to notice it, understand it, but keep moving. But what happens in a lot of us is that we feel stuck because we're trying to do all the things that get us to this new version of self, but somehow we are still holding on to the feelings, and it's still true in our body that we cannot become that thing. And so a lot of people just feel stuck. They're not growing, they're not declining, they're just there because giving themselves permission feels hard. It feels they are telling themselves a lie because that emotion is still strong within them. But if you have processed it, you're able to see the feelings somewhere here. It's not quite sitting in you. Yes, it comes up as something, but you're like, well, it happened. I acknowledged it. I know it made me feel this way, but that is not my story anymore. That is not my reality anymore. I've been able to understand it and I'm okay with it. And I still give myself the permission to become this thing. And that is how we unstuck ourselves and keep ourselves moving in the next direction. So if you're coming across this video, if you feel like, well, I've been doing everything right, journaling, doing my affirmations, looking back, doing what needs to happen, maybe taking courses, maybe coaching sessions, therapy, whatever will help you get through a blockage. You've been doing that. Maybe you should look at past feelings. Maybe you should look at what is it that is truly holding you back from becoming. Why haven't you given yourself the permission to do that next thing? Why do you think that somewhere, somehow, that is impossible or that is a long stretch? Others did it and you can do it. I'm here actively doing it and sharing with you. And so I know you can do it. Process those feelings, let it go, and create a map of self-awareness, emotional self-awareness. So when these emotions come up, you know what it is, you process it, you sit in it, and you let it go, and you move on. Not just, let it go, but you understand why you feel that way. Because once you, it feels like an emotion is so real, but once you understand this is why I feel the way I feel, and that feeling is valid and it's okay, and you sit in it and you understand it, and you give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling, when it comes up again, it's no longer heavy. And once you keep doing it repetitiously, as you encounter any emotion that you need to process, you see that it's easier for you to let things go. Push it, express it, feel it, moving on. So I hope this video helped you, because you must become that person that you know you can be. That next version, that next level. I know it can be hard. Growths can test you, but people are doing it every day. They're growing. People are starting new businesses and expanding. People are doing big things. People are changing careers. You don't wake up and become that person. It's a process, and you're in yours currently. So give yourself grace, but don't keep yourself stuck. Let that emotion go. Process it, understand it, and let it go. I love you guys. Thank you so much for giving me your time, watching, understanding, going on this journey with me. I'm Tracy, and I talk about everything identity shifting, growing into the next version of ourselves, embodying that next version, understanding some of the hiccups along this journey, because we're going to do it multiple times. This next version that you're even embodying, there's another one waiting for you. But once you know how to do it, it's like a repetitious cycle. I leave you with this nugget, and I'll catch you on the next one. Or you can watch this video here. It's definitely gonna help you. See you in that video.